Season 2, Episode 10, second to last episode of the season. Today's very special guest, our very own, and last Waterboy interview of the season, Justin Arenburg. Justin, the killer Arenburg.
Wow.
A little too much hype then.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Why you hype me up?
Oh, we'll get to your curling stories here. The folks will see why you're the
Good
killer.
old Bonchfield.
Yep.
Anyway, in basketball news, it seems like, as Josh Hart said, there's always something going on in this league on Twitter. And this week, it's Kevin Durant. He's requested a trade.
Yeah.
Where will he end up?
I mean,
Looking like Toronto.
yeah, but like, if you look at Brooklyn's roster,
Go Rostel over there in
Rostel.
Brooklyn, you know?
yeah, look at Brooklyn's roster.
So our guest can't talk
Yeah, I
today.
can't talk. I don't know why they were trying to break everyone up. Like, the roster they have is perfectly fine to go compete again. Like, you have Kyrie.
Yeah, if they played a whole season together,
Like,
they might
yeah.
actually have some competition.
You have Kyrie, though, because how much spectacle has he wanted there, too? And LeBron James is currently the poster boy for I want Kyrie in LA now.
We'll see. But I think Kevin Durant requesting a trade is just crazy. I don't see him coming to Toronto. I know Toronto's got the second best odds to land him right now. And I think that they probably have one of the most entertaining packages, I would say. But I don't know why he put Phoenix as his number one option. I understand, like, they're the number one team, but you've always said that you wanted to go and lead your own team. You're not going to lead that team. You got Chris Paul, Devin Booker, which you're not going to give up in that trade. Why? And, like, it's an easy route almost. Like,
He'd take the big man role, is what he'd do there, because the reason why Phoenix is the top odds is because they have DeAndre Ayton. They have problems with Ayton.
they're not going
Brooklyn's
to.
having
Yeah,
problems with Brooklyn.
they can't get Aiden to sign. Like, and they don't want to give him a max extension. So this kind of makes sense in that sense.
And he's probably the most ready now player that Brooklyn could get in a deal.
Yeah.
As much as Toronto was the young guns they could give, I think Ayton's probably the biggest name that's ready to go in and play good.
Why Kevin Durant chooses this route, I don't know. Like, the top two teams in his trade destinations were the number one seeds in the Eastern and Western Conference this past year. So you're telling me he went from OKC to Golden State, where it was a super team. Let's be honest, if no one's injured on that team, Toronto probably doesn't win the championship that year. And
No.
they probably three-peat. I mean, what, you think that they would? Like,
There would have been a fight.
I think there would have been a fight, but I still think you have Klay Thompson, you have Kevin Durant, and you have Steph Curry. You're not losing. And Draymond Green.
Believe in the Six.
That is.
You
You're the man who said you need 3. That team had 4.
That team had 4. 3.5.
Like, I just think that team was a lot better. But anyway, my point is, Kevin Durant said that he's, like, always trying to be the proven guy. Well, you're not really proving yourself if you go to Phoenix, in my
He's
opinion.
proven he should change his name to U-Haul because he's moving around too much. All year, every year, he just wants to move, it seems like.
I think he realizes
And
now.
let me tell you, before we even started recording this, I was complaining about it because he seems selfish because we could have been talking about Colorado Avalanche, Stanley Cup parade, the NHL draft, some more MLB than we would have, some more college football news. But no, instead, we're sitting here talking about KD because he
wants
wanting to
the
go somewhere
spotlight.
special.
He's a
He wants
baby.
the spotlight.
That's what he is.
Yeah.
He wants a spot,
But
like
no.
cupcakes back in OKC.
Yeah, what I think happened is that he joined the super team in Golden State, and that worked for him because it wasn't his plan. Whereas with Brooklyn, he tried to plan that, and it blew up dramatically in his face.
Yeah.
Because he picked 2 other players that have some of the biggest egos in the NBA, in Kyrie Irving and James Harden. James Harden didn't even make it through a full season with Brooklyn. Kyrie is Kyrie, and he's a nut job. KD is just a big old baby who realized he can't get a ring without 2 of the best players in the entire history of the NBA. So basically, he's saying, I'm either going to go play with Phoenix and join Chris Paul and Devin Booker and be just another, like, grab his tail and hope he takes me to an NBA championship, or he's going to play his 35th and 36-year-old seasons joining a Toronto Raptors team that would A, have to give up way too much to get him, and B, is so young that they're not going to win a championship with Kevin Durant unless they sign another person.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me tell you, if this was around the horn, we'd have gone to commercial 15 minutes ago.
I think that it's just nuts. But
Yeah.
where do you guys think he's going? We'll wrap it up with this.
Let's just go to Toronto.
I'm saying Phoenix.
I'm saying Phoenix as well. I like as much as you would hope for him to come to Toronto because we're a Toronto fan. I just don't see.
I'm a
it
Toronto
happening.
fan, not even 100% bottom here.
Yeah, well, like I just
But that's not likely.
But you know what? I want. If you're every single team in the NBA, you should at least be making a phone call.
Yeah.
It's Kevin Durant.
It's Kevin Durant, but he's also known to bring a lot more problems sometimes than
But
his
it's
good play.
Kevin Durant. It's probably the best player in the NBA right now.
Ooh.
Who's better than him?
There's a few I'd say better than Steph Curry, James when he's hot.
I don't know.
3 weeks ago, we were talking about how Steph's the MVP of this thing.
And
I think that he is, but like, you gotta respect Kevin Durant. Like, the man literally is a 7
He's a
foot.
great player.
Yes.
He's not the best.
monster.
No, he's not the best in the NBA.
Anyway, MLB, I'm so excited for my Cubbies because the comeback starts now, my friends. Suzuki comeback equals a Cubs comeback.
Yeah, say a
If you really
Suzuki
think about it. If you really think about it, even though they lost after that, Suzuki comeback.
Suzuki
We're
brings,
looking good.
Suzuki brings the ultimate momentum swing, hitting an inside the park home run.
Top of the
First
nine.
game back, top of the ninth.
Puts them up 2-1.
What did the Cubs do?
Cubs went on a tear before those last 2 losses. They won like
What did they do though?
4 or 5.
Let's just remind the folks.
Took a big fat L.
They
Yeah.
left up a
Gave up a
3-run
walk-off
bomb
home run.
or
Yeah.
4-run bomb.
5-2 ender in the 10th.
Yep.
But you know what? Some days you fall. And
Some
when
seasons
fall
you
comes,
fall.
when fall comes, Cubs will be reigning supreme.
Okay.
I've gone up and down like a roller coaster at Worlds of Fun, but let me tell you, Cubs are coming back.
I think that they're gonna be okay for the rest of the season. I don't think they're gonna be terrible. I don't think they're gonna be great, but I think they're gonna be 500.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
They're not making a
500?
playoff run.
No. They're not making a playoff run, but they're gonna be 500.
I will admit to this. I'm saying they're a good 650 team. 650.
You're
I think
telling me
it's fair.
they're a 650 win percentage team.
Aren't they under 500 right now?
They're like
I think we'll get there.
15 games under 500. Like,
And
I
you think
think
they're going to
we'll
go on a
get
15-game win streak to get it back up to 500?
no. I mean, like from here on out, I think they're gonna play
By
500.
the end of the season. By the end of the season, I'm saying 650 just the same as 500.
No, I'm saying 500 from this point out.
So they'll end with just below
No, are you
500.
saying-
Saying from
saying-
starting now till the end of the season,
Yeah,
or
are you-
the whole shebang?
No, I'm saying starting from this point forward, I think they're gonna play 500. Are you saying from this point forward they're gonna play 650 ball?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, just want to make that clear. I didn't know if you meant like 650 the whole way through.
That's
That'd
a
be-
big ask.
You
Boy,
have
that
to-
is a big
You
ask.
really have to go like
Boy, the tear.
850 to make that happen.
They'd have to beat every team in baseball.
Yeah, but just wait till the trade deadline when they get rid of any player that they had. Say Suzuki's probably off the table, but
Suzuki
Marcus
sucks.
Stroman will be gone.
I don't know about that.
Because
Marcus
still-
Stroman.
So is Wilson Contreras.
They
still
can't
there?
really-
Contreras, that's
They
right.
can't really trade Stroman. Stroman just. Did you guys see what he did
And what did he do now?
in his first rehab game?
Got blown up.
Oh, he sucked. He sucked. I think it was like, what was it? 4 innings pitched or something. 4 or 5 innings pitched. 6 earned runs, 7 or 8 hits. Yeah, it was pretty abysmal, especially for a minor league performance.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Blue Jays. are
No.
looking worse.
We gotta talk about one thing before the Blue Jays because we gotta know.
The Mets looking worse.
Well, not the Mets, but are the Yankees ever gonna come back to earth, or are they just gonna run away with this season?
They'll come back to Earth in October. They always do.
I'm saying they're running away with this one.
Like they're just stupid good.
No, they come
They're
back.
stupid good.
They come back to Earth in October. They always do.
You
They're gonna
gotta
make
admit
it.
they're stupid good right now.
They're stupid good right now. They'll come back to Earth.
This is
in
one of their
October.
best seasons in a good
In-
5
in-
years.
In like history. in the history of the Yankees, this is
easy.
They're 58-22.
The Yankees have a long history. They've had some fantastic seasons.
I think this is a great team. One of the better teams that they've ever had.
In the modern era, yes. I'll give it to you.
Can't forget about Jeter, A-Rod.
Well, yes, but like this is up there with those teams. I think. Like,
I think
they're 58-22
the true modern
right
era ends after the Royals. So yes, in my version of a modern era, this is one of the better Yankee teams.
Yes, I would agree. So
no,
I just you don't think they're coming back, or you think they're coming back there? I don't think they're
In
coming
October.
back there. You don't think they're coming back there?
In October.
No.
October, when the playoffs start, the dog days of August will take their toll on them. The hot play of September will take their toll on them a bit. And then whenever the October playoff jerseys come out of stock, they'll make it through the first round final like they always do. Second round,
They
they'll...
might make through, and then the third. And then
No, I don't even say they make it to the semis. I say they go out in the quarters.
I'm saying it's going to be a pennant for them. I don't know if it's going to be one or two.
Interesting. I would like to say that
They don't win the AL.
I think they win the AL.
They don't
but
win the AL.
I would like to say that what the hell's going on, boys? Like the Blue Jays. Why
Falling
are you
behind.
even wearing the jersey? Like I seriously debate.
To show them that a
Yeah.
bandwagoner. Still gonna have
I don't
hope.
care. Like, take it off after that weekend.
In season 3, we're going to need a new sweater for you.
That was terrible. That last a candidate, great.
Alright.
Doubleheader, terrible.
Yeah.
Sunday,
Against the Rays
terrible.
and Sox, it just did not look good for you guys.
No,
No.
that's two division matchups that we needed.
Yeah, no, they're a roller coaster team right now.
Because, go ahead.
They're a roller coaster team right now, but they've been a roller coaster team all year. So I think get them
Well,
settle it down after the All Star break.
Do you guys think Charlie Montoya is in the hot seat?
No, not right now.
Like, say
It's too
say
early.
it continues.
They have another.
It's too early for a hot seat, but if it continues, yes, you're right. But let me tell you, you've let the Red Sox sneak past you for a second. Now the Rays are coming up behind you.
Yeah.
And you're going to be sitting at third here pretty soon if you continue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not a
Fourth
great
in
look at
the
all.
fourth in the AL. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like
Third.
why they're third in the AL, but like they'd be fourth
Big fourth, yeah.
if
Yeah.
Tampa Bay passes them. I don't know what the problem is. Obviously we can sit here and say we know what the problem is. It's their offense shows up some days and then some days it doesn't. And pitching's basically we'll throw anyone out and we'll hope for the best, but we don't know. You could give us the best performance we ever seen, or you could let up 12 runs.
Yeah.
And then
2
batting,
innings.
their top three is pretty good,
Yeah.
but their middle and their bottom, where's their heat coming from?
They last year these guys insane. This
Alec
year-
Manoah was coming back to earth a little bit too.
Yeah,
His
like
last few starts haven't been stellar, solid. They've been still those ERAs up to 230 now.
yeah, like it's.
The
it's
Padres
interesting.
could be a better baseball team than
Who?
the Blue Jays right now.
Padres, they're better.
Yeah.
Padres are better.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Like the Padres right now are better than the Blue Jays, and they
Fernando
don't even have.
Tatis.
They don't even have Tatis back.
Exactly.
Once they get Tatis back, they're gonna be even better. But
No, 1 second though. If you look at the Blue Jays' history, before All-Star breaks, they're always
You better hope.
500
Digging up
or
the sabermetrics here on
yeah,
this one.
no. Before the All-Star break, every season the past like 5-6 years, they've been either 500, a few games above 500, or a few games below 500.
That's a
And
lot.
then they tear up in July and August. And
Vladdy
September.
better get going. Is what I have to say.
Just look at the Blue Jays' history, man. These
Vladdy
uniforms don't get hot until the dog days of August.
Okay.
What are you gonna
Yeah.
do? Win 30 games in August?
Man, no, they go on. Like I'm not gonna say they're gonna win 30 games in August, but they tear it up.
You gotta.
Second half of the
You're
season,
gonna have to
this
win.
this Jays team. Mark my words right now. This Jays team, different looking team. They're gonna click after the All-Star
You
break.
think?
No matter what trades they make, no matter how the All-Star
Mhm.
break goes. Vladdy's resting up. He's not doing the home run derby.
I think that
Captain Kirk's gonna have a great All-Star appearance.
I think that if things go the way they go right now, or the way they look and go, I think by the All-Star break, Charlie Montoya is on the hot seat.
They don't make a manager change until off season.
No, but I think he is on the hot seat if things go the way they go, or continue to go down the route that they're looking to go down.
Yeah.
And one disappointing player for me is Matt Chapman.
Yeah. I think that's the case for a lot of people.
He's hitting 220, which is what he expected to hit. He's got power here and there, but they brought him in for his glove, not his offense. Everyone knew he wasn't he's not an average hitter.
He's hit 30 home runs before. Like, you're just looking for a spark. Right?
He's over 10 now. I think he's like 10 or 11 now. But he's not an average hitter. Everyone knew that when he came in. He's never been a hit for average guy. He's defense and some good pop.
I think like he has improved third base dramatically. Like,
compared to how they were about to start at the beginning of the season. But no,
I think if you're looking for a spark, you gotta look all up and down your lineup. All guys, 9 guys, and your DH.
Well, the biggest thing has been with the trade deadline coming up. Everyone's been saying the window for the Jays is right now. They're young. It's not just this year they'd be selling for. They're selling for the future too. Everyone is saying it's time to stop hoarding the prospects because the Jays for the last 10 years, since you look back at Vladdy and Bo being in AA, they've had one of the best farm systems in the major leagues. And they trade every once in a while. They gave up a lot for Berrios and they gave up a decent bit for Matt Chapman.
But other than that, give up that much.
No, they still didn't even give up that much for Matt Chapman. They just gave up their first round pick Gunnar Hoglund from last year, but he was a pitcher everyone had question marks on anyway. Yeah. So basically, it's time to get rid of your farm system. Yeah. What are you holding on for? You're not. No one's looking right now at what their AAA and AA teams are doing. Everyone loves minor league baseball. I get that. They're still good players, but let them be good players for a different organization right now. It's time to start helping out your big league roster. And as much as it's going to suck to see some of these prospects or even some of our Blue Jays go to improve the team, your window to win is now in the next few years.
I would say next 3 years.
3 to 5 years. You have this year to 5 years. I'd say you have a good window there. It's time to start selling a bit and bringing in people that are going to help you win.
5 is a big stretch.
Well, you got Vladdy who's at 22, 23. You got Bo Bichette who's 22, 23.
No, yeah,
all your players are young.
But how long can you really hold on to those guys for?
There's no cap in baseball.
Yeah,
they can, as long as Rodgers wants to dish out the money, they can keep them for as long as they want.
They'll pay them. There's no big issue with that. What I just think is I think the window to win for the Blue Jays with the team they have right now and the pitchers that they have, I think it's 3 to 5 years, give or take. I think that's. I'm not saying win 1. I'm saying try and win 2.
They're looking for a Dodgers kind of run.
5 years be at least championship status for the next 5 years. What I would say.
Yeah, no, it's time to start selling, and it's time to start. I understand that Vladdy and Bo, they're still all young. They're don't get me wrong, they're not peak right now. They still got growing to do. But it's time to bring in guys that will help take a little bit of it. Vladdy's always going to be in the spotlight, same as Bo. But it's time to bring in guys that are going to take a little bit more of that spotlight off. Yeah. And even out the roster so we're not just looking at, 1, 2, 3, 4, they're good. But then, Matt Chapman will provide you a little pop here and there. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. gets real hot here and there. Mm-hmm. But you're looking for guys that are going to be consistently good. We need a championship team. We need it now. And this team still needs a piece or two. And it's time to go ahead and get that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, speaking of consistently good, our very own Justin Arenburg coming up next.
Yes, but I want to say that next week we will have a full season finale episode for you guys where we're going to break down the NHL draft, recap. We'll have a recap of that. We'll talk NFL news before the season starts because when we get back from our break, that will be started. Yeah. And we'll give NBA any more updates. Kevin Durant getting the spotlight. And I think that's basically it for now.
Hopefully a very, very special guest. We were planning on this week. Got pushed next week. Hopefully we get them in time.
Hopefully the biggest guest in Waterboyz history probably.
I don't know. Taylor Store was pretty big when he came on.
Anyways, we'll see you.
We're back with the man himself, Justin Arenburg, and some fresh water. We are the Waterboyz after all.
Yes, sir.
Justin,
all we drink is water, though, eh?
Water champ.
100%. Now,
sometimes fire water.
I have heard legends from Bridgewater, Nova Scotia, from the Valley. from the man himself and from others about some curling rage.
Big Bonspiel guy.
Some curling rage. Let's hear it.
Some curling rage. So, like, I would have to say my rage started immediately. And it tampered off as my...
Just like first practice, you were just like...
No. Like, first, like, tournament, I would say. Like, first, like... Because, like, in curling, like, the way it was grade 1. We started out, or, like, it was the first year that you were eligible to join curling. And I would say it was 2 years after that we were actually allowed to play tournaments for the first time. So, like, it was obviously fun and exciting. But the bad thing about that is it's not practice, and you have to deal with teammates. And I was a skip, which, if anyone's unclear about the skip, it's the fourth person, last person that throws the rocks, usually, unless your skip's throwing main stones, which is the third person.
This is when you're like 6 years old, right?
6 or 7. Like, this is early. So the rage started early. Like, I wanted the best for the team. But if you couldn't provide that, I was pissed.
You were just team leader. You need to bring 110% effort.
Yeah. Like,
meanwhile, these kids are
and
trying to figure out.
You know what made it worse? You know what made it worse? Curling with my brother. Because that made it.
What was he, 9?
Oh, no. He's younger. Like, he's a year younger than me. So it made it worse because, like, as a bigger brother, like, screw your little brother half the time. Like in a teasing, like, joking way.
And this is curling. Like,
It's
not
curling.
football where you could razz them every week.
Yeah, and
This is curling.
Just
where
toss
you
some
like,
cement
so
rocks at the
it's
kids'
very
feet.
verbal.
so, like, the first, like, major incident, I would say, was U11 provincials. When my brother Thatcher missed a shot that I had called, like, just so bad. I went behind the house, and my rage got the best of me there, and I took the broom over my head and slammed it on the ice. This official came over and said, "You can't be doing that." And I was like, "Yeah, well, go tell my brother, like, different. Like, he's got to make his shots." And, like, I was pissed at the time. Because, like, it's U11 provincials. And, like, I thought we had a good team going into it. Obviously not. But I was hopeful. So what happens is you get through that year, I guess. Like, played curling for, like, 15 years, I would say. So, like, by year, like, 5, I would say, like, U13, I remember this one game. It was U13 provincials as well. There's tournaments throughout the year which mean something, but provincials is where you want to perform, I would say, like, as a team.
Yeah.
Now, U13 provincials, I remember I called a shot. It was a draw to the button around, like, 3 guards, and I had full belief in my mate to do it. And he said, "I can't do it." And I said, "You're doing it. Like, you're doing it." I have full
There's
belief.
no substitutions in curling. You
Yeah, you gotta make the shot. Like, it's either we make the shot and we are great, or we don't make it and we're probably screwed for the whole game. Because I think we were gonna give up 4 or 5 if we didn't make the shot perfect. So I said, "Screw it. We're calling a timeout." And so my mate his dad was the coach at the time. So I called him up and I said, "Listen, I want to do this shot. Noah doesn't think he can make the shot, but I want him to make the shot. I want him to shoot the shot." And Noah was pissed off because he didn't think he could make the shot. So it's fine, like, it is what it is. But his dad was like, "No, you do this shot."
You as in you, or you as in Noah?
You as in Noah. Like,
Okay.
his dad was like, "No,
Yeah.
you shoot
Yeah.
this shot." So we get out there. After the timeout, I'm pissed off because my mate won't listen to me. Everyone on the team's not believing in this shot. Like, they all sided with Noah. Like, no shot we can make this
You're
shot.
getting ready to break the stick.
So surprisingly, he makes it perfectly. He made it perfect.
Nails it. Pro level.
But the very next end. So I was already boiling because these guys had turned on me, basically, is what I felt like. I was already boiling. So next end, I think it was Thatcher again who missed a shot. And I said, that's it, and threw my broom across a sheet of ice. Like, I was one sheet over, so there would have been another sheet of ice right beside us, playing as well. So I just said, screw it, and chucked it right across. And it interrupted their game, and interrupted our game, and I was so pissed off at that moment in time.
So you were more mad that he made the shot perfectly than if you would have missed it?
I was boiling at that point. From that shot, the very next
That's what
end,
I'm saying.
the very next end
Yeah.
is when I threw the broom because my brother had missed his shot.
Okay,
Because I was already boiling and everyone was already mad at me.
Yeah, but I'm curious about the Noah shot. Were you more mad that he made the shot perfectly and made you kind of look like...
I was right? Like, I was believing him from the...
you were believing in him.
Like, I was the only one that said you could make this shot. Everyone else was like, no shot, we have any chance of making this shot. And Noah did not believe in it whatsoever. So, like, it pissed me off because, like, I felt like the whole team was turned against me. And, like, we had no shot of making it because, like, they already had, like, you know, mentally, I would say, said...
Mentally won.
We're not making this, we're done. Yeah. And I had full belief in it. So then I was pissed off at that because... Yeah. They were pissed off at me because they didn't want to do the shot, and I called the shot, and since I called the shot, I expected to make the shot, so they were pissed off.
So what tipped you off the edge was your brother at the end of the day?
The very next end when they screwed up, yes, and they let me hear it, because like they were mad at me for what I was calling, even though what I was calling was working. It might not have been right, but it was working.
You're the skip.
So I was very emotional that day because, you know, it's your brother too, and he's making you upset a little bit. But at the end of the day, it was U13s, and that's when I decided I can't be skip anymore. I had to move to lead. That's the first position that throws. So what happened is, like, instead of like having all the pressure, I guess, of throwing last rocks, calling the game, even though I love that, I think that the best move was to go to lead where, you know, you're still pressure shots.
Not even third? What do you mean pressure shots? You're throwing guards.
No, but like, if you don't, if people who don't play curling don't understand this, if you don't get your guards perfectly, your skip is mad at you because you basically ruined the whole end setup for them. So like in that sense, there's pressure on the lead, and like it's pressure to make sure you dial in every single end and get those ends set up.
So why not go to third then? If you were skip, go to third.
Oh, because there was the team that I joined after this, because I left the team because I couldn't deal with it anymore. was a team that was a lot better, and I made the decision, like, if I'm going to be on a better team, I got to sacrifice, so I'm going to be the lead. But, you know, anger always is I think anger is always in curling. People think curling's, like, you know, this friendly gentleman, like, rugby, I guess, type sport, where it's just like, you're not, like, Taylor, you're looking at him, like, weird, but, like, friendly in the sense of,
there's
it's a gentleman's sport.
We respect each other.
Yeah. Like, curling, there's definitely anger on the ice. Like, you can feel it. Like, especially within teams. Mm-hmm. Like, I played games where you go down and you tell the other skip on the other team something to get him pissed off at his own team. So then they're yelling at each other throughout the game. So it's like a mental game, I would say.
Yeah. It's chess with rocks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you're playing mental games all the time.
And speaking of cerebral game, soccer. You've had your fair share of soccer stories too. Yeah, like, I think in U10 was, or, well, mini Timbits, I guess, U6. What was happening in your head around 10 to 14? That's what I want to know.
I don't know, man. But
puberty was just flowing.
U10, we were great. I remember our team name, Thunder FC. So what was our theme song?
Thunder Show.
Yes. And it had to be you walk out to Thunder, not walking out, but playing music on the bench. It had to be Thunder Show.
All right.
But U10, we were great. U12 is really when people started to get good at soccer, I would say. U10, U8, you're just still learning the game, I would say. Now, U12 is when we developed some teams that we did not like, I would say.
Started the rivalries.
Yes. There was a team from the Valley named Bridgetown. Whoever was on Thunder can allude to this. Basically, it was at any moment, a brawl could happen. Benches clear, like baseball.
In what age was this?
U12 all the way up to. At least because they were their coach was so dirty. He'd tell his players to go out and hip check us in the middle of a soccer game.
You see, this is what's wrong with the mainland.
So we were if you're getting if they're getting told to do that and the refs aren't calling it, what do you think our players are gonna do?
Yeah, this is Mighty Duck stuff.
You know what I mean?
Do, Coach Bombay?
So we were good, and a special shout out to Keenan Mason, who basically just carried our team. He best player in the South Shore, I would have to say, or one of the best. Cameron's in him, but I would think that. So we were good at U12, and then U14 is when the team, I would say, really started to take exception to take exception to anyone doing anything to us. So
You're just the no BS team.
Oh yeah, there'd be red cards every game, I think. But
did you guys have a goon?
What?
Did you guys have a one guy that was just your goon who was just
soccer goon?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say just one guy. It was just we were at that point I wouldn't say family, but we were close enough that if anyone did anything to someone
the guy next to him.
Yeah, I was gonna stand up and be no, not happening. Sometimes I would admit I would think that what we were doing was just stupid retaliation, because especially when we're losing.
Yeah.
I'm why are we doing this, boys? We need the goals. You need to stay on the field. We can't be losing, you guys. Anyway, so I think at that point, it really we'd gone provincials twice in a row or something like that, and we had beaten teams 17-0 in soccer.
Yeah.
And at that point, we were decent, just decent. But what really changed for me was when I went to junior high. That would have been U14. There's summer soccer, and then there's school soccer, and school soccer is just as popular as summer soccer. And at Headville, I was so small going into my grade 7 year that it was, I don't know how I shouldn't have made the team, basically. I didn't really play much, I'm not going to lie, in grade 7, because, I was just so small, you couldn't do anything with me. If I went out there against grade 9s, I was going to get pummeled every single time. And so that was fine. And then my grade 8 year is when I tore my ACL. Now,
in grade 8, that's gotta be tough.
Yeah.
Well, it was...
Stumped his growth.
It was terrible because that whole year was terrible for soccer. Because the knee, I knew there was something wrong with the knee. Because it almost completely went out twice before it actually went out. So,
Isn't that your MCL?
What?
Isn't that your MCL? Your knee?
No, it's ACL and an MCL in there. I partially tore the MCL as well.
There's 3 in there.
Yeah.
MCL, ACL, and LCL.
Yeah, so I had the knee in a soccer game in the summertime had popped out, like went out and back in type deal in the middle of a game, and like it like felt like it was torn. Then twice it happened, and then I remember exactly. I'm never gonna forget this. It's a game at our home field at Headville Academy, and I'm going to get the ball that's going out. I'm going to try and save it. Anyway, the ball like just had, it wasn't the hill was like, or the field I guess was like this, and then immediately as you hit the outline, just a dip on the hill.
That seems safe.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a big hill, but like it was definitely big enough.
Something you don't want next to people running full speed.
No.
Yeah, like if you're trying to save a ball or something.
Yeah.
So the ball had just enough momentum to get out. So it was fine. I go and I try just to turn my leg, like go like this, like I guess like that. Just turn my whole body. And at that moment, I knew that something was wrong because the knee just went and it did not come back this time. So I was right beside the hill. So where did I fall? Down the hill. All my teammates on the bench are laughing because they think that I'm faking an injury.
Yeah.
And just, they're like, what are you doing, Justin? Get up. Like, and I'm like screaming. I'm screaming.
It would have been funny, just sideline. From the sideline, it's just like you're sitting on the bench and then you just disappear.
Yeah, they didn't see me because like I was down below the other side was like level, like where all the fans sit.
Yeah.
And then that side there was just a dip.
So like you just saw it and then you didn't.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So
they think you're faking an injury.
They think I'm faking an injury, and then like 30 seconds or like a minute after, they're like, "Oh shit! Like he's not faking an injury."
This is a long bit.
Like,
it's a long bit.
I'm like down, like screaming. So anyway, like I get up. Well, I don't get up. They like carry me to the car. And I went to the hospital. They were going to call an ambulance, but then I just said, like, we got to go now. So we went to the hospital, and I had not fully torn the ACL. It was grade 2, I believe, and a grade 1 MCL tear. So I was out for, like, 8 weeks. So, like, I missed what would have been a good, I think, portion of the season that year. And I think that we did go to regionals that year. Like the way it worked for us back home was you win districts, which is like your league within your county, I guess.
Yeah.
And then you go to regionals, which is like the whole east or west end, I guess, is what it would be of Nova Scotia. And then that's as far as you go for junior high. So we made it to regionals, and I think we made the final, but like I wasn't able to play because I was still recovering from that. So that one sucked. And then grade 9 was an interesting year because that was the year that we went 12-0, didn't lose a game, and I got sick in regionals, so I wasn't able to play that game.
Michael Jordan flu game.
I wasn't able to play regionals because I had gotten sick, so like I missed out on regionals. Like it sucks not getting to play that one, but it is what it is. I think that it didn't really matter if I played or not because Keenan was like on our team, and basically if you had Keenan, you were winning the game.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we were up in regional finals. It was like 3-0, and there was like 20 minutes left in the game. So at this point, we're just trying to waste time. So Keenan like turns around at our own like half line when he has the ball because he's smart like this and he realizes it. So he boots the ball into the parking lot as far as he possibly could, like 5 times. So whenever he got the ball, just straight to the parking lot. Let the other fans go and run after it because like he's just that type of player. But I for me, like it sucked not getting to play.
Sitting there watching the ball going to the parking lot.
That's the scene from The Office where Dwight's just like, oh, I'm so mad, and then kicks the ball to the Wiz. Like, I'll go get it.
Yeah.
So like it was annoying, but then that was the end of soccer. So like, because I knew I wasn't good enough to ever, I would say, make anything of myself in soccer. I was decent,
yeah.
but I wouldn't say I was anything special ever. But I would say that's when I kind of realized my calling.
Yeah, journalism.
Yeah.
Being a water boy for life. No.
Sure.
We'll be doing this until the day we die.
Oh, yes.
Sure.
Well,
great.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for season 100.
Yeah.
So I think it was grade 9. And like, people hated me because I would know every single stat, like, and I would correct someone if they were wrong. So like, if someone said, like, say back in 2015, Ovechkin had 2 goals the night before, and someone said he had 1, I would correct them and say, like, no, Ovechkin had 2, when they're just trying to tell their story, which, like,
Yeah.
I understand is annoying, but, like, to me, I'm like,
That's where you get your satisfaction from.
Get your
It's like,
facts right.
Yeah.
So, like, I would know all my stats. Like, I do that, and I knew that sports probably wasn't going to happen professionally. So, back in grade 9, I was thinking, like, okay, like, we got to figure out going into high school, like, what you actually kind of want to do.
Yeah.
Which
And
some
like
people don't.
GM, owner, coach, that didn't really appeal to you?
Sure, GM appeals to me, like, and coach appeals
Shout
to
out
me.
to NHL be a GMO.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
GM definitely appeals to me, and like everything in sports appeals to me. Like, sure, I'd love to try it. I think I'd do all right, but I think that
Could you fix the Edmonton Oilers right now?
yes, 100%.
He already has on NHL 22. So.
Yeah, like, come on. So,
What about the Chicago Blackhawks?
dude, that's impossible. I'm not joking.
Ouch.
I'm joking.
Ouch.
But I realized that sports was going to be my calling, and because I have no interest in math,
Nope.
no interest in science.
Nope.
I like writing, but
Yep.
only about sports. Couldn't write about
Yep.
anything else. And I just thought, what better way to spend your life or career, I would say, than to sit around, or not sit around, I guess, but
Sit on my ass and watch some sports.
And talk about sports and get paid about sports.
Yeah.
I personally, I don't think there's a better career path.
No.
I understand everyone has their own ways and everyone likes to do what they want, but for me personally, I thought there's no better way to enjoy life than be around sporting events your whole life and get paid to talk about sports. Like, for me, that's special, and it's kind of what this is all about. Like, right now.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so
I think we all can agree on that.
Oh, yeah.
I think, like, if I, to say, like, what I think all 3 of us have in common is that special thing. Like,
Oh, yeah.
the sports drive is there. Like, it doesn't matter what sport it is, I think. Like, we want to go and cover it right now.
Yeah.
Like, start and be there. So,
You know an event? Hit us up.
Oh,
Side note, yeah, we were at the Mem Cup this year. Next year, Waterboyz official sponsor. Move over, Kia.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys want to hear, I think that's it for me today.
Yeah.
But if you guys want to hear more stories from our past, I know we've done an episode each now on us.
Yeah. That was the promise this season. Yeah.
We fulfilled it.
Yeah.
But if you guys want to see more of these kinds of episodes, I guess, where like we can interact on not just past stories with us separately, but past stories of first times as Waterboyz, like going to events, talking about that,
Yeah.
giving
The behind
back.
the scenes stuff. And
Yeah, if you guys
the
want,
origins.
if you guys want that kind of stuff, let us know in the comments. And Grant, can you tell the people, or actually, not you, let's go to Taylor and tell the people where they can find us.
All right, well, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts,
Yeah.
We're on YouTube, where if you're watching this right now, you can find us on socials with Instagram, official Waterboyz Podcast, and Waterboyz_media. You can find us on Twitter at Waterboyz Podcast, and Facebook, go like that page.
Yeah.
Come find us, come see us, you see us in public, come say hi, tell us how much you just love us, because, we know we're adoring.
We love hearing from you.
Yeah, we love our fans.
We love hearing when you guys say, aren't you from the Waterboyz?
Puts a smile on our faces.
Oh,
It makes us
It
feel,
lets us know we made it.
Yeah,
It makes us feel like what we're doing is actually paying off throughout the community.
Yeah, the Waterboyz_media. That's where you can find all our cool behind-the-scenes stuff with our glizzy reviews and our interviews with the Mem Cup athletes.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
Well, anyway, to wrap this thing up, thank you to our sponsor, Hunter's Ale House, Factory, Beer Garden, John Brown's, Hunter's at the Fox.
Yeah.
Everything Hunter's Corner. Folks, they didn't give us a script for this week, but I will say this. You gotta try the Stinky Rib grilled cheese at the Factory. They put out a new menu,
Really?
and it is stacked. It is stacked.
The whole roster's stacked, eh?
It's a stacked roster, let me tell you. It's looking like the 94 Bulls. Anyway, they've got
94 Bulls. Why not the 96 Bulls?
96 Bulls. I knew it was an even number in the 90s. Anyway, I was born after it. I just know it was in the 90s and Michael Jordan was awesome. Love you, Scottie Pippen. Anyway, they've got paninis. They've got sandos, which are like paninis but not toasted.
Isn't Sando a sandwich?
Burgers, which are like bigger sandwiches. They've got salads, which is like the toppings of a sandwich. This is why they need to give us a script, because I don't know how to grow.
They got food and it's really good.
I feel like what you're saying is promoting, but I feel like you are on level to go against Biz and an ad read right now.
Oh yeah. Take me
Grand
on.
Nasty.
Here we go.
Someone tell me to turn this boombox on.
Turn
Turn it off, man.
Play the folks out.